Eyes Wide Shut was painted in 2001 by Cecily Brown, and it is a stunning embodiment of her erotically charged figural abstraction. Brown is best known for her ability to transform paint into flesh and seductively embed the human form in a frenzy of paint on canvas. Here, we see Brown really wrestling her subject free from the convention of figurative and abstract painting. I'm Charlotte Dercook. I'm a specialist in Sotheby's Contemporary Art Department. I'm here today to discuss Cecily Brown's Eyes Wide Shut from 2001, which will be a highlight of the Now Evening auction on November 16th. This painting is Cecily Brown's iconic style on full display. It so deftly fluctuates between perceptible and imperceptible form. The artist really blurs the boundaries between abstraction and figurative painting. The most spectacular works from the artist's output show a depth of picture plane and a handling of paint that oscillates between minute and tight and bold and loaded with movement. Eyes Wide Shut is so vivid. It has this overall sepia tone that is bombarded with strikes of crimson, sienna, burnt umber, and blushing pink that transition between transparent and opaque. The artist herself said, "I think that painting is a kind of alchemy. The paint is transformed into image, and paint and image transform themselves into a third and new thing." This painting is a masterful example of that third and new thing. It sets a tone of continual flux, alive with erotic energy. There are two things happening in Eyes Wide Shut. Well, there are really more than two, but what I see is on the one hand, the suggestive palette and expressive brushwork and the brighter and fleshier tones evokes a sense of ecstasy, while on the other hand, there is this undercurrent of sharper, darker strokes, which suggests something more ominous, hidden beneath the surface. The title, Eyes Wide Shut, comes from a novella turned into a 1999 Stanley Kubrick film, which was actually Kubrick's last film. The movie explores the connection between the sensual and carnal and the anonymous. The film centers on a man confronting the limits of his moral and erotic boundaries. Kubrick deliberately obscures the division between dream and reality through meandering narrative and washes of colored light. The title's reference to paradoxical sight, to the refusal to acknowledge what is directly in plain view, sets up Eyes Wide Shut as a blurring together of subjective experience and the physical real world. In Eyes Wide Shut, Brown gets rid of strict narrative and structure, but still achieves incredible visual and thematic fluidity. The artist graduated from Slade School of Fine Art in London in the early 90s, which also coincided with the rise of the YBAs, or Young British Artists. Brown wasn't conceptually focused, though, or ironic in that same way. She did embrace pop culture, as many of her most important works draw from the titles of films, but she didn't embrace celebrity culture in the same way that many of the YBAs did. Brown is a painter who loves the deep and rich capacities of the medium of oil paint, as did many of her great influences such as Peter Paul Rubens, Willem de Kooning, Joan Mitchell, and of course Francis Bacon. The artist was excited by the boundaries of paint, and she really did imbue abstraction with a renewed energy and cultural significance at the turn of this century that is being celebrated very widely today.